Hey guys, get up, get up. Emergency mode activated. Because apparently, the world has gone completely insane. TMZ, Rolling Stone, everybody and their grandma are saying Diddy might be out of jail by the end of this week. Yeah, you heard that right. After everything, after all the noise, after all the tears, he might be walking free. Now let's pause for a second. What in the entire chaos is happening right now? Who paid who? What deal was made? Who's cashing the check? Because this ain't no justice system. This is monopoly with real lives. Sources are saying Trump's team is actually considering commuting Diddy's sentence. But listen closely. This doesn't feel like justice. It feels like a test balloon. They're watching how loud we scream. They're testing how much backlash the public will throw if Diddy magically walks out. I'm telling you right now, this isn't about Diddy. This is about power, money, and influence. TMZ didn't just get a tip. They were told to release this. They want to see how far they can push before people lose it. Because make no mistake, if this man gets a pardon or commutation, it's not because he's innocent. It's because money talks, and right now Diddy's money is screaming louder than justice ever could. Alright, let's talk numbers because this is where things get dark and messy. People online keep throwing around that this pardon deal might cost $10 million. 10 million? Baby, please. That's gas money in this world. If presidential mercy could be bought for 10 million, half of Hollywood would have walked free by now. This isn't small change. This is big boy money, hundreds of millions, quiet handshakes, private flights, secret meetings in back rooms of DC hotels. It's not just Diddy trying to buy freedom. It's an entire system cashing in on the chaos. And guess what? People close to the situation are whispering that Diddy's team is throwing everything at this. The houses, the jets, the art, the businesses. Everything. Because Diddy doesn't just hate prison, he's terrified of it. You don't fight this hard for a 2-year sentence unless you know there's more waiting behind the curtain. Meanwhile, TMZ keeps dropping these exclusive leaks saying Trump might sign it any day now. But let's be real. Why would they leak that unless they were trying to pressure him? This is how you shake down a desperate man. You float the story, you get him sweating, and then you say, all right, let's sweeten the pot. They're bleeding him dry. Every day that Diddy thinks he's one step closer to freedom, another check clears. Another meeting fee. Another consulting charge. This isn't justice. This is a shakedown in broad daylight. And the wildest part? Everyone's acting like it's normal. Like, oh, another billionaire buying their way out. No, baby. This is the blueprint of corruption being printed in real time. And Diddy's just the face of it. Now let's get into the Trump angle, because baby, this right here is where it gets cinematic. The streets are saying Trump is going back and forth about whether or not to free Diddy. One minute he's like, yeah, maybe. The next he's saying, I don't like the optics. But let's not pretend Trump makes decisions based on morality. He makes them based on vibes and leverage. Remember, Trump does what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. He could literally walk into the Oval Office to sign that paper, then turn around and say, actually nah, not feeling it. He's unpredictable. And that's what Diddy's team doesn't seem to get. They're trying to play chess, but Trump's playing a whole different game. One that runs on ego, attention, and revenge. Because let's not forget, Diddy turned his back on Trump during the 2020 election. He went hard for Biden. Now suddenly he's all Joe this, Joe that, trying to act like he's tight with everyone. Please. Trump doesn't forget. Trump doesn't forgive. If you cross him once, you're on his list forever. So now, Diddy's probably out here calling in favors, trying to prove his loyalty, whispering, I'll do whatever it takes. But here's what nobody's saying out loud. Trump might just be playing him, letting him think he's close, letting him drain every last dollar, and then boom, denied. That's power. That's the Trump playbook. And while all this is going on, the public's losing their minds. People are angry, exhausted, fed up. Every time they see a powerful man wiggle out of consequences, another piece of faith in the system dies. You can feel it online, that slow boil of outrage turning into disbelief. Because if Diddy walks free this week, what does that say about everyone else sitting in a cell without money or fame? What does it say about justice in America? It says exactly what we've always known. There's one system for them and another for the rest of us. Listen, y'all, if Diddy really walks free this week, it's not just a celebrity headline. It's a message, a warning, a middle finger to everyone who ever believed justice was blind. Because this isn't about innocence, it's about influence. You can feel it. The streets are restless. The internet's boiling. People are tired of watching the rich buy their way out while regular folks sit behind bars for far less. Diddy's story is just the latest example of how deep the cracks in this system really go. They say money can't buy happiness, but apparently it can buy freedom. And the price tag? Somewhere north of $150 million and a few political favors. That's not justice, that's a business deal dressed up as mercy. But I'll tell you what, people are waking up. The same way they tried to spin this story to test the public's reaction, we've got to show them that the public is not for sale. You want to know how change starts? It starts right here, by calling it what it is. Corruption, manipulation, a performance for power. So yeah, Diddy might get out this week. Maybe next. Maybe never. But one thing's for sure, the truth is out and the world's watching. And if this whole circus plays out the way it's looking, then we're not just witnessing Diddy's downfall, we're witnessing America's mask slip. Anyway, y'all, stay tuned. I've got more updates dropping because this story, it's far from over. Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video, and let the world know we see what's going on. Because if silence is power, then our voices are the revolution. Let's be real, this whole Diddy situation feels like a movie, but not the kind you clap for at the end. This is one of those dark political thrillers where every scene feels too real to be fiction. You can practically hear the backroom deals, the secret phone calls, the nervous laughter over million-dollar bribes. And here's what's wild. If Diddy actually gets out, don't be surprised when you start seeing headlines about second chances, spiritual growth, or redemption arcs. Watch how fast the PR machine flips the story. They'll try to paint him as a man who found himself behind bars. But let's not rewrite history. This man isn't a victim. He's a symbol of how money bends morality. Meanwhile, regular people can't even afford bail. They're out here losing jobs, families, and futures while the powerful just sign a check and walk free. That's why this moment matters, because every time one of them gets away, it tells the rest of us our voices don't matter. But guess what? They do. Because the more they hide, the louder we get. The more they spin the narrative, the more we expose it. This is not the end of Diddy's story. This is the beginning of a bigger one. A story about power, accountability, and a system that's cracking in front of our eyes. So yeah, let's see what happens this week. If Trump really signs that paper, if Diddy walks out smiling, then I promise you, this channel is going to break down every shady move, every hidden name, every dollar that changed hands. Because this isn't gossip anymore, this is history unfolding. And whether you love or hate Diddy, you're watching a real-time lesson in how the elite play the game. Stay tuned, stay loud, and stay awake, because when the truth finally drops, baby, it's going to shake Hollywood, Washington, and every fake friend in between. Alright y'all, before I log off, I need you to really sit with this for a second. This isn't just celebrity drama. This is the system showing you exactly who it serves. Every dollar Diddy throws around is proof that power protects itself. They move the goalposts when it's one of their own, but when it's you or me, they throw the whole book. So don't let them gaslight you into thinking this is justice. This is influence in motion, and we're watching it play out frame by frame. If this pardon actually happens, remember this video. Remember who warned you first. Remember who connected the dots before the headlines tried to rewrite the story. Because the truth always leaks out, no matter how much money they pour on top to bury it. And when it does, every lie, every favor, every handshake in the dark is going to come to light. So here's what I need from you. Hit the comments and tell me what you think. Should Diddy walk free? Should the president even be considering this? I'm reading every single one, because your voices matter. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button, because baby, we're just getting started. The moment I hear another whisper, another call, another leak, I'm coming right back with receipts. Stay alert, stay loud, and remember, when they try to play us, we don't stay quiet. We speak, we share, we expose. Because this right here, this isn't the end of Diddy's story. This is the beginning of his reckoning. You know what's wild? Every time we think the Diddy story can't get any deeper, another layer peels back. Now people close to the situation are whispering that the pardon talks might just be the smoke screen hiding something bigger. Because let's be real, how do all these leaks hit TMZ at the exact same time? How do anonymous White House sources suddenly appear in sync with Diddy's lawyers? This doesn't happen by accident. Someone's pulling strings behind the scenes, feeding the narrative, trying to shape how we see it before the truth drops. And you know what that tells me? Something's about to move fast. You don't spend $150 million and risk your whole empire unless you're desperate. The question is, desperate for freedom, or desperate to hide something that's about to explode? Mark my words, when billionaires start moving this loud, It's because they're covering something louder. Maybe another witness. Maybe another tape. Maybe another lawsuit ready to drop. And trust me, those who know. So if Diddy's people are pushing this, he's getting out this week's story, it might not be because it's true. It might be because they're trying to distract you before something much bigger hits the news cycle. And when that happens, baby, this channel's going to be right here breaking it all down. The names, the money, the phone calls, everything. Because one thing's for sure, when the lights finally come on, everybody hiding in the dark is going to be exposed. Okay, listen, let's talk about the people nobody's naming. Because behind every public headline like Diddy may be pardoned are the real power brokers. The ones who never show up on TMZ, never trend, never post, but always collect the check. These are the connectors, the lobbyists, the consultants who get paid to make impossible things happen quietly. You think a billionaire just picks up the phone and calls the White House? No, there's a middle layer. The movers, the deal makers, the fixers who take your money and deliver results. And from what insiders are whispering, Diddy's been meeting with exactly those kinds of people. Lawyers with DC roots, old campaign donors, media handlers who specialize in rewriting narratives overnight. These aren't random hires. These are professionals at flipping a reputation before breakfast. That's why all the leaks sound coordinated. TMZ, Rolling Stone, anonymous White House sources. It's all too neat, too synchronized. Somebody's orchestrating this PR wave like a symphony. The goal? Make Diddy look like a comeback story, not a cautionary tale. But here's what they didn't plan for. The internet never forgets. Every dollar Diddy spends trying to rewrite his ending leaves a trail. Every phone call, every lawyer meeting, every quiet dinner in Miami or Manhattan. It all leads back to the same handful of names that always pop up when power is for sale. And best believe, those names are about to surface. Because people are talking. And when that next leak hits, it won't just be about Diddy. It'll be about the entire network built to protect him. So yeah, we're just scratching the surface. Keep your notifications on, because the names I'm hearing, if even half of them are true, this story is about to blow the lid off everything we thought we knew about Hollywood, politics, and power. Stay ready, because the next video, that's when the real names start dropping. Alright y'all, buckle up because this is where things start connecting. All those whispers, leaks, and mysterious meetings, they're not random. They're part of a network, a system of power built to protect the untouchables. Let me break it down for you. Every major name that gets into trouble, from Hollywood to DC, suddenly starts using the same PR fixers, the same legal teams, the same reputation rebuilders. It's almost like a secret society of image engineers. You never see their faces, but you always see their results. And guess what? Diddy's team has been reaching out to that exact circle. The ones who make scandals disappear, who know how to leak just the right story at just the right time, who can turn villains into victims overnight. You've seen it before, the same people who spun political scandals, celebrity meltdowns, even criminal cases into second chances. That's who Diddy's leaning on right now. They're the bridge between the courtroom and the cameras. But here's the wildest part. It's not just PR. There's money flowing behind it. Big money. Super PACs. Charitable donations. Consulting fees. It's all code. Code for influence, access, and protection. These aren't random coincidences. They're power trades happening in plain sight. And when you start following the trail, you realize something. It's all connected. The same names popping up in Diddy's corner have popped up before in political campaigns, record label buyouts, and criminal defense deals for other celebrities. It's a loop, a powerful one. The same people who build the stars are the ones who protect them when they fall. And if what my sources are saying is true, that loop just tightened around Diddy's case. Because what's coming next isn't just about a pardon. It's about exposure. About names, transactions, and connections they never thought would see the light of day. This isn't just a scandal anymore. It's a blueprint for how power survives. So keep your eyes open, because the next part, that's when the curtain finally lifts. And trust me, it's not just Diddy behind it. So here we are, y'all. The end of this chapter, but definitely not the end of the story. Because after everything we've uncovered, one thing's crystal clear. This isn't just about Diddy trying to dodge a sentence. This is about a whole web of power built to protect people like him. A system that trades silence for favors and truth for money. If you've been watching closely, you already see the pattern. The same insiders, the same PR handlers, the same invisible hands pulling strings every single time someone rich and connected gets caught. They don't fix the problem, they bury it. They don't seek justice, they buy time. And that's where we stand right now, in the quiet before the next explosion. Because something's brewing. Too many leaks. Too many whispers. Too many people trying to get ahead of a story that hasn't even dropped yet. So when it does, when the next headline hits and the truth finally spills, remember this moment. Remember how the pieces were already moving long before the world noticed. I don't know if Diddy will walk out a free man or fall deeper into the storm, but I do know this. The curtain is slipping, and the audience isn't buying the show anymore. Because no matter how much money or power you have, the truth always finds its way through the cracks. So keep your eyes open. Stay alert. Stay loud. Because this isn't just gossip. This is the story of how empires crumble one secret at a time. And when it breaks, when it finally breaks, we'll be right here to break it down together. This is just the beginning.